Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to Street MBA, where we discuss entrepreneurship from an evidence-based and practical perspective. Our overall objective being to create a network of business people that are bringing value to their communities. I welcome you to Street MBA, and guess what we're talking about is they don't know. How will they know who you are if they've never seen, heard, or talked about your product or your service? How will people even know that you exist and that you have something of value to offer to them? We're going to explore that today, the importance of marketing. I don't know if you've ever noticed on the ticker down on the bottom of the screen that it says I'm the marketing director. So we're talking about something that's definitely in my wheelhouse. So I want you to stay tuned today. We're talking about marketing. We're going to get into it right after our break. So please stay tuned to Street MBA.
How's your financial situation, friends? It's time to open that lower drawer and pull it all out. Hi, I'm Margie Duncan with the Arias Group. Have you considered hiring a financial coach? Are you currently thinking about buying a house? If so, now you have a mortgage to consider. Might include cleaning up your credit, securing financing, or home, life, and auto insurance. Regarding your personal finances, how well are you managing your money? Are you about buying a house? If so, now you have a mortgage to consider. Might include cleaning up your credit, securing financing, or home, life, and auto insurance. Regarding your personal finances, how well are you managing your money? Are you planning for retirement? Are you even on track? Here at the Arias Group, we coach you through all of the above, as well as get to know your individual goals and priorities. Give us a call at 713-545-6830. Again, the Arias Group Financial Coaches. Give us a call today and receive a free financial coaching session and game plan.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, I'm Mike Mogel, the CEO of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. A clean and disinfected space is essential to keeping your customers and your staff healthy, safe, and productive while preventing the spread of COVID-19. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with more than 20 years experience in janitorial, restaurant, post-construction, and floor maintenance cleaning. We really make it shine. We are focused on quality cleaning and wellness in our customer spaces. Our team is professionally trained to ensure not a spot is missed, and we use products that are safe for your property and your people. Our services are tailored to your individual needs and include expert floor care, dusting, sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, detailing, glass cleaning, and deep disinfecting. Our experienced team is here to make your office as comfortable and clean as possible. Visit our website at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call us today at 832-689-7996. Now that's a clean sweep.
Welcome back to Street MBA. We're talking they don't know. We want to know how to find your business, what you're talking about in your business, what type of services and products that you're offering. So I got a little situation I want you to think about. It's kind of recent in social media right now. There's a discussion or a conversation that's being had about McDonald's. No, really, they're actually talking about McDonald's because on this particular video, there's a gentleman, he has a bag of McDonald's in his hand, a drink from McDonald's in his hand. He's standing outside of a glass door. You may or may not be on social media very much. You may or may not follow certain pages so you'll be able to see this particular thing. So I'm going to flesh it out a bit for you so you can see what I'm talking about. And listen, I'm not one for a whole lot of conspiracy theory stuff. I don't get into the political conspiracy type stuff and all that type of thing, but I do have a conspiracy theory I want us to dabble in just for a moment, because whether it's true or not, it's still going to be pertinent. So please stay with me. So the gentleman is there, and there's a woman that's off camera screaming at this gentleman because he brought food for his child, but did not bring food for the rest of his children. Interesting. Interesting, right? Now, as a man, the conversation is, right, on social media, the argument really is a man responsible for taking care of children that are not his own biologically after he moves on from the relationship? We're all familiar with blended families, right? You meet a woman, she has children already. She may have 1 child, 2 child, 3 child. She may have several. She may have 7 or 8 children, right? But you love her, and so you love her children as well. You come together, you have a child together out of that relationship. Now she has 8 children. She has 8 children now, right? So she has 8 children, but the relationship doesn't work. The relationship doesn't work. You receive a text or a phone call from your child saying, "Daddy, I'm hungry. Mommy said they don't have anything to eat tonight. I need some food." So you rush to McDonald's, grab your child's favorite meal because this is your child. You may only see him 4 days out of the week or 3 days out of the week, or maybe even just the weekends out on the month, but you there for your child. You want to provide for him. So you come, you bring the food for your child, and you encounter a very angry ex-girlfriend, wife, whatever. So you bring the McDonald's over for your child, and you encounter an argument. You probably knew it was coming because you've been in a relationship with this person for some time now, but here's a real point I want you to get. We're talking about the relationship with the people, but we're assuming that you're just supposed to get McDonald's for your baby. We're talking about McDonald's the whole time. McDonald's is getting all this free publicity from this discussion. If you're not aware, this discussion has been going on for at least 2 weeks. And not unspoken, but a detail that's not being talked about at all, really, is the fact that McDonald's is the product that's been placed in this story. I don't know if you're aware of this when you watch your favorite movie and you see the stars drinking a Coca-Cola. They drink a Sprite. They may have a vitamin water or a Gatorade throughout the movie, or even a Dasani. And you don't even think about what it is they may be drinking. It just maybe think, oh, okay, that the actor was thirsty at that particular point in the program. No, that's marketing. Coca-Cola paid to be on that movie. You may or may not be aware of that. That's called product placement. So we've been talking for the last 2 weeks on the internet. It's going viral. Literally, millions of people have seen this video, and millions of people are mentioning McDonald's, and millions of people are assuming that in the event or when it's time to feed your child, when your child says from the back seat, "Mommy, I'm hungry," if you have any little kids at all, you know they're always hungry. The thing that you're going to think of is, I can go get some McDonald's real fast. That's just how great product placement is. Listen, did you know that tissue paper is tissue paper and that Kleenex is a whole different thing? You didn't know that, but you call it Kleenex all the time. Why? Because of the marketing that Kleenex has done. Do you know those little sticky notes? We call them sticky notes now, but we used to just call them Post-its. Yes, we used to just call them Post-its, but guess what? Post-its is a brand name. That's something that they worked on through marketing. They spent millions and billions of dollars to establish their name, so you would always say, whenever you're referencing a sticky note, you would say Post-it. So when you walk into the store looking for sticky notes, you don't see sticky notes, you see Post-its. So what do you purchase? Because of that familiarity, you purchase the Post-it brand. And you may even think that anything that's not a Post-it is substandard. Because the name now is the standard. McDonald's is the standard. Burger King, in your mind, I know in my mind, Burger King is less than McDonald's. It may be an alternative to McDonald's, but it's still in my mind. I'm just talking about the effect of marketing on my mind personally, is that I believe that anything fast food in regards to hamburgers is substandard to McDonald's. That's all through the work of marketing. Did you know, I have another quick fact for you. Do you have any idea that Google actually spends money on marketing? Google, the company, Alphabet Incorporated, yes, spends money on Google, on selling Google. When Google is now a verb in our English lexicon. When you're talking about doing an online search, you say, did you Google it? Or go and Google that stuff. You probably don't use stuff on the end of the word, but this is a public broadcast, so we're going to keep it clean. Nevertheless, Google spends over $1 billion a year to establish that name. That's just how important. Now, we can't imagine life without Google. I know I can't. I literally Google at least 5 to 6 things a day. Listen, even if it's just something I need to confirm because somebody just said it, because people, not just that people lie so many times, but people have misunderstand things so many times. That's why I request people to send it to me in black and white so I can Google it and then find out or to confirm the veracity of their statement. Yet, Google still feels the need to put $1 billion into their budget to make sure you don't start saying, I need to Bing that in order to confirm it. Did you know there is another way that you can search online? Microsoft has a search engine called Bing. But you don't hear people saying, I need to Bing that. Can you Bing that restaurant for me to see if it's any good? Can you Bing the directions to that particular place? You don't hear people saying that at all. It actually sounds a lot better. Bing has more of a ring to it. Google sounds kind of ugly. Nevertheless, we know what online search is. We reference online search from the name Google because of the marketing. That's just how important marketing is to your business. They don't know about you. That's why they're not eating your cakes. They don't know about you. That's why they're not watching your program. They don't know about you. That's why they're not calling your phone to receive the services that you're offering. You could be the best insurance agent in the world, the most personable, the most informed person out there, business person out there, representing the company all by yourself. You're ready to build. You have a 5-year plan. You have a 10-year plan. You have a 20-year plan. But guess what? You're going nowhere if no one knows about you. It's really, really that simple. In order for you to get in front of people, you need to figure out what levers you have to pull to get their attention. How do you do that? That's what we're going to go into a little bit more in this show. I have a dynamic guest. I'm talking about someone that's been in business for over 25 years. Yes, we're talking about a quarter of a century. But listen, when you look at her, you're not going to be able to tell, but she's savvy. So we're going to try to mine as much information out of this brain, out of this person as we possibly can. Because listen, she's a compassionate person. She does so much stuff in the community. She has so many businesses and entrepreneurial endeavors. I admire her so much. I'm looking forward to having these conversations with her. So please stay tuned. We have a great guest. She's going to talk to us about social media marketing and websites and marketing in general in her own business. So, Street MBA, I want you to stay tuned because we're going to dive deep into figuring out how they figure out who you are so they will know who you are. Street.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, I'm Patria Leone. I believe in every single thing that I do, and I want you to do the same. You deserve to look and feel beautiful or handsome. Be empowered. You're entitled to be at your best mind, physical, and financial fitness. As the CEO of Health for Wealth, I've developed a 4-pillar method based on your mindset, overall health and wellness, relationships, and finances. All of these are the foundation of your life, and they integrate whether it's in your business or your personal life. I've been down and I've had some strong struggles and challenges, and I'm convinced that every habit and behavior creates your choices, and you become the sum of your choices. You want to feel better, look better, eat better, think better, work better, love better, perform better, be better. What are you waiting for? Remember, you have only one life, one body, and one mind. And there's a solution to every circumstance, and it starts with you. It's time for you to take charge and thrive now. Invest in yourself. To schedule your free 30-minute consultation that has every potential to change everything, call now at 602-910-1340 or visit forhealthywealthy.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Patria Leone or follow me on Facebook at Health for Wealth LLC. And don't forget to check out my podcast on YouTube at Health for Wealth.
Welcome back to Street MBA, and I tell you, I cannot contain my excitement that I'm about to get this opportunity to have this interview with this person. She doesn't know 3-4 years ago, sitting in her class, I was in awe of her speaking abilities and her abilities to command the room. Here she is on our show now, Miss Beth Guy. Welcome, Beth.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you today?
I am so good. I'm so happy to have you. So my intro question for most of my guests is, how did you ever get into web design? I know you didn't grow up as a little girl because web design wasn't a thing when you were first born. So how did you end up in web design, Miss Beth?
Interesting story. I had a background in journalism, and I used to do the layouts for the newspaper back in the day. Pretty much before there was desktop publishing, it used to be done the old-fashioned way. When the web came along, they basically looked like the same thing to me. So it made perfect sense for me to go ahead and take that leap and start down the road to do web design. And that's how we got where we are today. It was the very first block we put as we started to build our business.
Oh, was web design. So as you were building your business, so what was the foundation of the business? Was it journalism or something?
Well, what it was when I started, we said, okay, we can do this, build these websites, do the design on them, put them together because they look very similar.
But how did you even learn to even know anything about web design and websites and stuff? How'd you get over there?
When you went initially, the way it was is they were pretty much using somewhat similar desktop publishing type software.
Okay.
They functioned the same way, so it was an easy transition to go from newspaper to internet because they're very similar animals in how they were done. Not now, not in 2020, but back in 97, 96, 97,
okay.
They were very similar and the interfaces were very similar.
Okay. So you were in the newspaper business. What exactly were you doing in the newspaper business?
Started out as a reporter and worked for some papers up in New Jersey. Part of they're now NJ.com is what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And worked with that, and then when I moved down here, I had worked for some of the papers that are now owned by the Houston Chronicle.
Really?
Yeah.
So you went from the media of newspaper to the media of social media and the internet.
Yep.
So you stayed in the media space. I'm privy to a little bit more information, but I want to draw it out for our audience. Is that you also were doing some other things in business as well. So you started web design, and now you also have done some SEO and other stuff too?
Well, one ended up rolling into the other. So when we put our very first website up, the very next phone call I got is why wasn't I on Yahoo? And the thing is as we were talking about Google earlier,
okay.
Yahoo was the front runner and really was the only name in the game at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first website I put up, with inside a week, the guy was calling me on the phone saying, hey, why am I not on Yahoo? And some people take the approach of, it's not really within my wheelhouse.
Right.
And I'm of the person of, hey, I better go learn how to do that. So I've started very much with customer one. How do I get that person to be visible within a search engine? So that morphed into an entire subset of a business that was appended to the web design. So whereas web design was the start, the next step was actually the optimization aspect of it.
Okay, so and I know from one of the last classes that I attended in person, you were talking about reputation, your reputation on the internet. So I know that's another component to your business that we can discuss also. But since there's something I want us to really grab a hold of, because I want to, because the core of the show is the Street MBA is giving street knowledge, right? Practical, evidence-based knowledge about what's going on in a business to take you from absolutely nothing in your particular career, in your particular instance, going from being a newspaper person and evolving into this web monster that you are today in regards to the internet and being able to understand the algorithms, learn, maximize them for your clients and get them up in the search results. That's very important in regards to marketing. But I really want us to draw out, just to flesh it out a little bit more, the fact that the skills that you had in newspaper, you started to use them in the internet business. So you had somewhat of a foundation that you built upon. Talk about that a bit more, please.
Well, what's interesting to me is that what I did within the newspaper, we actually built our entire company the same way, similarly. So whereas we had the creative process at the newspaper, we had the editorial process at the newspaper, we have story ideas at the newspaper, our entire company functions that way from start to finish. We start.
You're talking about currently?
Yeah, currently. To this day, I actually have a newsroom. And what I mean when I say that is I have an editorial department. We have story ideas. We have a round table every Friday to come up with what
in
we
reference
need
to
for
story
the clients.
ideas. In reference to story ideas, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but in reference to the story ideas, what's the story you're trying to tell?
All right, so for my own company, we look at what is hot, what are the trends, what do we need to do, what do those look like? If it's for a customer, we sit down and we say, hey, what do we need? What are those goals that we need to meet for that customer that, during that period? Whether they're selling AV equipment, whether they're selling whatever they're selling. I mean, whether they're legal, we sit down and we think, okay, what does it have to do with their business? What can be timely? What works? We have one that does plastics. Well, that plastic company, they're solving some supply chain issues. So where they're up to date, and where we keep them up to date is the supply chain issues. So we did a whole story and section for their website on how they're meeting the demands that are lacking in other parts of the economy. So we work to keep our customers front and center within the space that they are. And I run my entire operation. It's very similar to the way we did. We have a copy editor, we have a writer, we have all of these type things that run together and work them and make them all work together for the customer. Everything starts with the content, just like a newspaper. Everything starts with the story. And without the story and without the content, you have nothing. You don't have a good website, because at the end of the day, the end user needs to know about what you can do for them, not about you. And I've always kind of preached that. You know that. You've heard me say that you always have to tell somebody what you can do for them, not who you are. I think who I am and who everybody, each business owner is always secondary, unless you are a big brand like Coca-Cola or McDonald's. I mean, if you're just you or me, we need to make sure that we're telling a story in a way that we're helpful to people and make people understand what we do, but we have to be current in how we do it.
Okay, so let's get behind the scenes a bit. You've answered this question a bit when you talk about the foundation of your business being from the newspaper. You have that part of your structure, right? So one thing I want our audience to get is it's okay to superimpose, even from a different industry, some processes and structures and understandings of business from one form of business to a different form of business. You went from newspaper to I want to say social media marketing so bad because we talk so much about that in your classes, but to web design, and then you still use some of that structure in regards to how the newsroom, as you said, is structured, and you put that into your internet business so you can operate efficiently. You make sure you covered all the bases with your clients and all that good stuff. So here's my question, though. Who are some of your mentors or one of your mentors, and how have they influenced you and helped you along in business?
Mentors, that's always an interesting thing. I've learned so much along the way. So back, I had a journalism professor that taught me how to write a lead. That's a long lost art form, I think, in this day and age. And yet every article we put out today, I've preached to my staff that you have to have a lead, you have to suck somebody in, you have to get them to be able to engage with you. So that would be one. The gentleman's name was Herb Jackson, and he's deceased now, but yeah. As far as some of the internet, I think there's quite a few people out there. There's been owners of websites. There's actually quite a few. I think now if I started listing them, I think I'm pretty much on par with them over the years. We've kind of all evolved together. Okay. But I kind of started where they started, and they were a little bit ahead of me. So from that standpoint, and as oddly as this sounds, my boss at State Farm, I did a gig at State Farm for I guess 5 years. Okay.
What'd you do at State Farm?
Just sold insurance.
No.
Yes,
you
I
talked
know.
to me all this time. You know what I do, and you never told me that you sold insurance
I had a property
before.
and casualty license for years.
Are you kidding me?
No, not at all. But with that said, I learned how to run a small business, and I.
From the State Farm guy?
From my State Farm agent.
Wait a minute, wait! You can't do that to me, Beth. You can't do that to me. You were about to walk right past that. I tell people all the time on this, you can't just walk past that right there. So you went from newspaper
to State Farm.
To State Farm. This is before the internet company.
Yeah.
So you brought into the web business some of that experience in sales.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to make sure our audience gets it, how one experience is building on another. One of my favorite things from the book, what's the name of it now? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is this: go to work to learn, not to earn. Go to work to learn, not to earn. So every step of the way, from the newspaper to the State Farm agency to what you're doing today in regards to web design, that's all building. All those experiences, tell me if I'm wrong, are all building and making you the monster that you are today.
And I'm going to go one further. I will tell you one other thing that I did that I learned invaluable, and I guess if I was telling entrepreneurs and addressing entrepreneurs,
right,
everything you do along the way, if you do take those steps and learn. But waiting tables was one of the best experiences of my life because I learned customer service there.
Wow.
Learned how to interact with the public and how to multitask.
Mm-hmm.
I think multitasking is one of those things that seems to be a lost art form these days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so so if I put together. And I'll never forget when I went to leave my restaurant job to go to State Farm, and I had, I'd graduated college, and it was time to get quote unquote a real job. And somebody stood was standing in the bar area and said to me, "You're going from one dead end job to another." And I thought, at the time, well, gosh, I hope that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't know at the time is that both of those experiences basically primed me to be able to run a corporation, to be able to multitask, to be able to problem solve, to think out of the box, and gave me an additional skill set beyond my just knowing how to do my trade, if you will, because running a company involves dealing with people just as much as it involves knowing what you're doing. And if you have to do both well to be successful, in my opinion.
See, I got her warmed up now, folks. I got her warmed up now. She talking that street talk with us now. Guess what? We got her for another segment. We're going to go do a deeper dive, into web design and social media marketing. That's where she picked it up with me and blew my socks off. I'm here to tell you, I would take 2 hours out of my work day, regular on a, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It was on a Wednesday. I would go because that's just how valuable the knowledge was. I stepped away from revenue creating activities so I could create more revenue by learning the things and getting some of the jewels that Beth was offering. We're going to stay tuned because she has more street talk for us. She's going to go a little bit deeper dive into social media and web design. So stay tuned. We're going to get a deeper dive into it, and we're going to have a good time talking to Miss Beth Guide. Stay tuned. Street MBA.
How's your financial situation, friends? It's time to open that lower drawer and pull it all out. Hi, I'm Margie Duncan with the Aries Group. Have you considered hiring a financial coach? Are you currently thinking about buying a house? If so, now you have a mortgage to consider. Might include cleaning up your credit, securing financing, or home, life, and auto insurance. Regarding your personal finances, how well are you managing your money? Are you planning for retirement? Are you even on track? Here at the Aries Group, we coach you through all of the above, as well as get to know your individual goals and priorities. Give us a call at 713-545-6830. Again, the Aries Group Financial Coaches. Give us a call today and receive a free financial coaching session and game plan.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, I'm Mike Mogel, the CEO of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. A clean and disinfected space is essential to keeping your customers and your staff healthy, safe, and productive while preventing the spread of COVID-19. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with more than 20 years experience in janitorial, restaurant, post-construction, and floor maintenance cleaning. We really make it shine. We are focused on quality cleaning and wellness in our customer spaces. Our team is professionally trained to ensure not a spot is missed, and we use products that are safe for your property and your people. Our services are tailored to your individual needs and include expert floor care, dusting, sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, detailing, glass cleaning, and deep disinfecting. Our experienced team is here to make your office as comfortable and clean as possible. Visit our website at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call us today at 832-689-7996. Now that's a clean sweep.
Hi, my name is Amelia Young, and I am a breast cancer survivor. When I was diagnosed with cancer in 2016, I endured not only difficult physical challenges, but also mental challenges such as anxiety, depression, anger, and a great uncertainty about the future. In 2017, I went into remission, and I decided my goal was to provide to women like me a supportive and nurturing place to retreat, recharge, and heal. That is why I created Sumantra Holistic and became a breast cancer mentor and healing minister. I know from experience what you and your loved ones are going through, the sadness, the fear, the anger, and I know how to mentor you and yours during these difficult times. Let me help you. Let me be part of your holistic healing process. Let's walk this path together towards peace, health, and mental balance.
We are back with the Street MBA, and listen, I really wish you guys were around during the commercial break because she shared so much good stuff while we were off camera. But I need you to draw out that point, Beth, that we were just talking about in reference to your right before you went to State Farm, please share with the audience.
We were saying before commercial that the person said it was a dead-end job, and at first, when I first got there, I thought it was, but when I look back at it now, what I learned was the ability to sell, the ability to listen, and the ability to be flexible. And like I was telling you, that 95% of all small businesses, they say, will fail. Right. And the reality is because I think most people are not adaptable or don't know how to change or use their skills that they picked up elsewhere and be able to apply them. So although I've never sold a piece of insurance at a website situation. Right. My ability to listen and to identify needs and to be able to meet those needs is a skill set I picked up at State Farm that I use in my business every day today. So I think that if you can, the most successful small business owners understand that they are an amalgamation of everything that they've ever done in their life, and that somewhere along the line that experience can always be interjected into your current situation.
So it's all about the experience. So even if you're doing a job right now that you feel that may be beneath you, right? But there's still skills you can learn while you're on that job that prepare you for, because you don't even know what exactly you're even being prepared for. Am I right or wrong, Beth? Because as we can see, I can say for myself, and as you talked about just in the 10, 15 minutes that we've been here on set, that all these life experiences that you've had have shaped you not only into the person that you are, but into the business person that you are.
I'll turn it on its side a second here.
Okay, let's do that.
When we look to hire somebody, one of the most appealing job titles people ever had was waiter or bartender. And the
Really?
reason why is because if they were successful at that job, that tells me that they know how to do the job that I need them to do, which is interact with my clients. Everything I do can be taught.
Wait.
But the ability to deal with people is not something that you can tell. You can't teach that. You can't teach having a thick skin or being able to interact with a bad situation. You can't teach that.
Wait a minute, Beth. Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong. What you just said is that you are actually looking for someone that has had previous customer service experience when they come to get an internet job?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can't hire your typical, look, I can't have a whole company of Sheldons and Leonards from the Big Bang Theory.
Okay, a bunch of brainiacs.
Yeah, because they don't have the social skills to be able to interact with the customer. So you have to have both. And I can teach you the knowledge, but I can't teach you the ability to interact with people properly. And
So you're talking about
those
soft
social
skills.
Yeah, you can't teach somebody those skills. So as a result, I'm always looking for that person that has both sets of those skills, because you can't be you have to be able to interact with people, because if you can't.
So wait. So the guy said to you that when you were leaving the restaurant, you're going from one dead-end job to another dead-end job. When coming to find out that neither of them were dead-end jobs, these were all stepping stones.
Exactly. Absolutely, and I attribute all of them. I mean, every part of it to the guy that was the manager at the restaurant that I worked at. That was very difficult to work for. That you had to.
Oh, so you're thanking the universe,
absolutely.
whatever you want to say, for even for that tough boss.
Yeah. Yeah, the tough boss was not the best of circumstances, but boy, did he show me how to excel and make sure that I met the goals and do what I needed to do. But the ability to deal with people, and I think that's not my quick wit. You've experienced it.
Absolutely.
That all came from learning from being waiting tables. And learning how to interact
but people
with
say all the time, "Oh no, that's not a job for me. It doesn't fit my personality."
Well, then,
I can't be a waiter because I'm not outgoing. I can't serve tables because I'm shy. I have social anxiety. What do you say to that person?
Well, then don't do that job. But then when you come to me, you're not as desirable, because I can't have you be socially inept when dealing with clients. And I mean that's a big deal. And I mean, again, just think about the mindset of the people, the Big Bang Theory, take those type of personalities.
Okay.
They are not personalities geared for customer service. And our business is just as much customer service as it is being able to do great things with web and great things with websites. And that's partly why we have the reputation that we do, Jonathan, is because we know how to listen to customers and output things that they need in a way that Google receives them well.
So it's not about you showing how artsy and how great that you are as a web designer and how creative you can be. It's about actually listening to folks and doing what they tell you to do.
Well, or taking what they tell me and molding it into what Google wants to see. So for example, I had one gentleman call me one day, and all he wanted to do was put up a whole bunch of pictures on his website. And he wanted his whole homepage to just be postcards. And if I actually had did that, he would never have had one visitor come to his website, because for all intents and purposes, it's a blank website. So when you
Why you say it's a blank website? He has postcards on it.
Because they're not legible. They're pictures. So when they're pictures, Google can't necessarily read it, and therefore they can't decide where it fits in the search hierarchy.
So you just shared a technical aspect of what a person was asking for, and how it didn't actually fit into what would be not manageable. That's not the word I'm looking for. But would be the best solution for their particular business in regards to the internet.
Right.
So we know we want them to contact you in reference to web design and SEO and all that good stuff. But if for whatever reason they don't choose to call your particular phone number or go to your website, what should they be looking for when they're looking for a web designer? What's some aspects or some attributes that you should be looking for from a good web designer?
Well, first of all, I would ask for references because in a lot of cases they don't do the right thing. I don't know how else to say that.
What do you mean
It's
the right thing? Because I don't know if I don't know anything about the internet. How do I know what's right or wrong?
Well, there you go. See, that's the problem. So when you're hiring somebody, you need to look at what they've done and ask for references. And your question to the reference should be, have they helped elevate your business or push it forward? Because putting up a Wix or a Squarespace website,
right,
and charging somebody several $1,000s to do something that they could have done themselves for free,
right,
is not helping push that agenda forward. So I think some of the best things you can do, in fact, frankly, maybe before you even call a web designer, go to their portfolio page and call those people before you even contact somebody and say, hey, what was it like? Because then you're not going through the filter of who they choose. Mm-hmm. You're just randomly calling people listed on an internet and saying, hey, I'm thinking about hiring this company. What was your experience? What was your success? Mm-hmm. Because it's not just about building the website. I am not of the opinion that you build a website to build a website. And right. Again, I talk a lot in anecdotes, and this is a great example of something. I have a customer now that for years I would say to them, hey, what can I help you do stuff? And no, I just need a presence on the internet to show I'm legitimate.
Like a business card.
Like a business card. And I have a really big problem with that. And I think I have a problem with that, to be quite honest with you.
Mm-hmm. What's wrong with that right there? I know you have a larger point, but what's wrong with that right there?
All right, so to have a business card on the internet, somebody has to know to go look for that business card. So right. Just like when I go out there and I hand you a business card, you and I have had some kind of contact. Mm-hmm. Well, nobody's going to come and find your business card unless they were referred to you.
Right.
And your ability to refer to you is limited by how many people you can meet, as opposed to having Google, the largest search engine in the whole world, mm-hmm. send traffic to you beyond your own sphere of people. So mm-hmm. come forward a few years, she came to me in January and she said, well, Beth, she said, I have to tell you, my website disappeared. We don't know where it is. We don't know what happened to it. I don't know what to do. Was really at a crossroads. And I said, well, hey, you know what? Just let me go put it all back together for you. It's not that big of a job. However, because of the way we do things and the way my staff has been trained, we put together with the things that Google wants to see in the web page, not just reconstructed her existing website, which I could have done, but there were some things that were wrong with it. So we addressed all of those things, no extra cost or anything. It was just good business practices. Right. But because we did that for her, she's now came back to me 3 months later and she said to me, strangest thing happened. People are calling me from my website now.
It actually worked.
Imagine that, right?
It actually worked.
Because we have the ability and the knowledge to know how to build a website right, and that changes that somehow.
So although I did some some DIY stuff on my website, you think it's a good idea for business owners to take the task upon themselves to build their first website or to have an internet presence at all? You think it's worth it for them to do that, especially if they don't have the capital?
Well, I think so, but I think you need to use things like my class that I offer through Vertical Web that tell you things. Those classes are free. We have an on-demand section, so it's not like you have to actually attend. If you want to come after the fact, you can.
Right.
The one thing coming after the fact, you don't get the ability to answer questions, so that is a definite problem. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that you need to know what you're doing. Just like I wouldn't change my brakes without watching a video. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't change my oil without. And as far as to ask for a reference, I always say, if I had to pull my own tooth, I could, but isn't it always better to go to a dentist?
Yeah, I would say so.
I know, you don't think about it that way,
so
but
we got
you
a couple
could
of
pull
more
your own tooth.
Right, we got a couple more seconds. I want to make sure that everyone knows how to reach you so they can partake of your expertise. Please.
Okay, so you can reach me at verticalweb.com. That's our web address. You can also reach us on Twitter, which is verticalweb1 is our Twitter handle. It's also our Instagram handle and our Facebook handle. And if you wanted to just send me an email, it's beth@verticalweb.com. And of course, phone number works too. So
she didn't tell you that she works with the Houston Community College. She works with the Houston West Chamber of Commerce, offering classes. These are some of them. They do have a nominal ticket fee, but you're talking $10-15, people. You're getting knowledge. You're getting not 101. not even 202, but some 304 level, 300 and 400 level, if we're using the college reference in regards to the type of knowledge that she's sharing with her classes on a weekly, monthly basis, in person, also virtual. So you can, just the same way you can watch the television show worldwide, you can watch her things and be involved in her classes worldwide as well. So reach out to Beth. When we come back, we're going to wrap this thing. We had a great show. I'm feeling like Tony the Tiger right now. But when we do get back, we're going to wrap it up, speak a little bit more about social media marketing and web design, and stay tuned. Will you watch? Yeah.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Welcome back to Street MBA. I don't have much to say, man. That was so much great information that Beth gave us just now in those two segments. From the things that she talked about in reference to build, I know I say this almost every single show, but I feel the need to say it because people don't really grasp the importance of taking the skills that you had from your previous experiences, the jobs that you've had, the things that your parents had you do, those uncomfortable things that your parents had you do presentations in front of the whole family at the 4th of July barbecue, and you thought it was just dreadful, but guess what? You had that experience, so now you're able to get in front of the public and talk. That's actually some things that happened to me. So you just don't know where your skills are going to be coming from. That's the importance of living a grateful life as well, so that you can always be using the experiences that you had to help you better yourself and then by extension bettering your community. We talked about McDonald's Gate. Yeah, that's a real thing. McDonald's Gate. We had a whole 2-3 weeks, and by the time you see this show, because you can watch it on demand on YouTube, you can watch it on demand on Now Media TV as well. So you can even watch it on Facebook. But the thing is, we want to make sure that you get the information. But the thing about McDonald's is there was a whole discussion, right, about family and responsibilities and all those things, while the product placement was there for McDonald's. We're still talking about McDonald's when we shouldn't be talking about McDonald's. Not to say anything wrong to talk about McDonald's, but they're getting free advertising because we're talking about one thing that just so happens to include them. We want that same creativity to being in our marketing campaigns that we put forth for our own companies. Huh? Are you sparking, are some ideas getting sparked? Are you receiving some inspiration right now on how you can cross-sell someone? We're talking about one thing, but in fact, you're getting some product placement, even for your services. Can somebody talk about you and suggest you without being direct about it? They really can. They really can. So we're going to continue to be creative with the show. We're going to continue creative in our business lives so we can bring value to our community and people can know who we are and what it is that we bring to the world. So please stay tuned. We have a treasure trove of information for you here. Please like and subscribe to videos so we can continue to spread our reach and people can know about Street MBA and be part of the discussion. So here we are. This is our presentation to you, Street MBA. Keep on watching. Stay tuned. Street MBA.
This has been a Now Media Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.